Okay. So Gunnar has said many things already, and I have only to add that I see beauty in nature in my way, and I hope you join the beauty that I see with your eyes. And maybe you find some new way to look at plants and take pictures of them. So I started my hobby with plants with Gymnocalcium mihanovici or Friedrichi. Who knows? I was 14 and I didn't know anything about plants, but this plant survived quite a lot of time. Next, of course, it is also a Gymnocalcium. I love it. I did work on it a little bit because I thought it was a kind of totem, and it shows its best parts to me. I also fancy the color. The Andre is, of course, has a yellow flower, but in this case, I preferred it with the bud because the colors were so beautiful. In summer, the plant will become a bit more greenish, but this is the real color in spring. Another love is Dioscorea. And I show you this picture because the turtle saw another turtle as a rival. And I couldn't be fast enough to make the photo because the turtle was quite cross with the rival. Interest also from animals, not only from mankind. And you see, there has been nibbled on it. But there are also more rare plants like this Dioscorea that grows only in Brazil, and it is the only Dioscorea with a pachycal stem, very different from the others. And then you have this new species from Peru. In Peru, there are only 2 species of Dioscorea described. This one is still unknown, and probably nobody has seen yet the flower of it. That's not a photo for a recipe, but it is a trick that I want to give you. Not only photo trick, but also growing trick. If you have a Dioscorea who doesn't start to vegetate in autumn, you have to hide from sunlight the growing point. The sensors will think, oh, the autumn has come. You give it a good wash, a good shower, and it will grow within a few days. It's enough for Dioscoreas. I do love miniature plants, and this is very, very nice also for the color of the leaves. They are curled as long as they get enough sunshine. A bit difficult plant, but I love it absolutely. Nature is art. You just have to look at it. I mean, there is no explanation necessary, I think. I love buds. Buds are often more interesting and intriguing than the open flower. This is Ferrocactus latispinus. As I don't know the English pronunciation of the name, sometimes I have written the taxon. This is the wet plants have a particular charm, haven't they? I mean, I see it is much nicer in this way than without water. When a bud falls off before time, I take the chance to see what's inside. This is, of course, it is not a professional flower section, but still it looks like a very nice hiding place for organs. Euphorbia, a very strange one. I think not many people have seen it. And this is the best way to show how it looks like, maybe. Many people know this plant, but have you noticed that this cyathea grow in stores? First step, there comes out the second and the third. It's amazing. Light is, well, the name of photography derives from light painting. You paint with light, and this is an example where the light comes from one side and has taken the best parts of the flower. If you compare it with a normal photo with the light from behind you or from the top, it becomes a bit dull. Maybe you agree with me. Here we have bud, half open and open flower. And also what you notice only later on the photo, there is a little bug or whatever. I don't know how you call it. But they look nice, don't they? Hoya with beautiful coloring and nectar dropping down. This euphorbia is a weed, but who would not love to have it in the garden? This photo reminds me that I have tried to take this photo again of other Dobeanas, but I never found a similar chance to get a flower with stamen that long. As you can see, the lightning comes from underneath. It's a bit tricky, but it works. These are the fake twins. Reminds me of the anglerfish, as this would be the hook. Schlumberger is very difficult to take from the right angle to have the best photo. And I think maybe this could be a suggestion. I've tried many angles, but the angle is very important. Now we have the chapter of spines, and we begin with one spine and one bud. This is the saying, less is more, I think. Also here again, the light from above points out the structure of the leaves, which are parallel. Natural colors, believe it or not, kind of macro. Also here, the light is very important. It mustn't be too direct on the plant. Again, natural colors. This is a variegation, of course. And it looks like a botanical wired barbed wire. I don't know how to say it. Most of the times my flashlight does the trick of the black background. In this case, it was not possible because I was in a botanical garden and I would have needed a very strong flashlight. So I had to do it pixel by pixel almost in post-production. I can tell you it took me hours, but nevertheless, I think you see the beauty of the plant now. Here again, we have the lightning that underlines the nice curled spines. Natural colors, the new growth of this Metrilocactus, and the symmetry was a question of time. Always remember, if you see something, take the photo as soon as possible, because a few hours later, this would have been changed. It's just minimal art of nature. It looks, I don't know if it looks spiny or if it looks soft. I like it either way. Also one of my favorite plants. And as sometimes it happens, I have to choose what I prefer. Either color or black and white. I think it's not difficult to recognize this. I may be able to say the name Mammillaria therese. It looks amazing. Agave titanota. Also here, nature is incredible. I don't know if you see my cursor, but here and here in the middle, there are two details. The one is this. This has to do with pareidolia. This is the way that human brain recognizes things that are not really there. If I see the head of an elephant, I know that this is no elephant, but it gives this impression to me. Similar, but very different. This is a fern. The leaf of the fern is still developing. You see the little roots, and this may be also considered a succulent plant, I think, as it makes the body and goes on towards the light or wherever it is suitable for it to grow. This is horror for who has to repot all these little Phryleas or Sulcorobutia. And To me, it represents the wallpaper photo. They are full screen, and I think also this is an example of nature at its best. Carnivorous plant. Seen at a botanical garden after a rain in spring, colors are absolutely natural. And this is a wave of lithops and conophytum. Somebody should repot them. This is also a kind of wallpaper, spiny wallpaper. This agave had new leaves, and the colors were like that. I must tell you that the black background on the screen enhances colors as well as the flashlight. So if it seems to be unnatural, it is not, except that I tell you that I enhance the colors. Mammillaria plumosa, again, I've seen this plant with these yellowish feathers. It never happened again to find yellow ones. Must have been a new growth, I don't know. There is nothing or almost nothing natural in this. It's my Persian carpet. So I would like a dress with this fabric. This is playing around using apps or software or Photoshop or whatever you like, but experiment. You will find things that you might like. Again, the same plant. I think you can recognize it, but if not, you know it, everybody knows it, don't you? Let's talk about pollen and making seeds. Looks nice. I took it off from Ferrocactus. Or maybe not. The black background makes it more dramatic, of course. When I have a wilted flower, I try to use it even if it is gone. And this was the result of what I could get of, I think it was Echinoterius, I don't know. Here again, the wonder of nature. This is a carnivorous plant, a Nepenthes. I didn't know they would flower, I'm honest. If you see on the left side, there are the two buds, and the anthers are still closed, but look how beautiful they are. On the right side, or in the middle, you have one that is opening. And on the left, on the far right side, there is already pollen taken away. This is a macro photo, unfortunately not a succulent plant, because I think that begonia is not succulent, but still worth to be seen. This is a photo from above, but what I liked much more, this is the same flower without petals. Looks nice, I think. These are pelargonium seeds. I have changed the color a bit. I made it red so that you can detect better the spirals. They fly into the ground, and whenever they find the right place and humidity, they would unspiral, and the seed will be emerged into the ground. Again, seeds. This Dorstenia has a few flowers, and the seeds will be thrown out for quite a length, I mean a meter and maybe a few feet away. The little seeds have this cuticula that helps them fly somehow, and it comes off when they have arrived where they start germinating. This is a particular macro because sometimes it happens, and I think it's quite rare, that cacti seeds will germinate within the fruit. You see the white parts are the seeds that germinate. Was worth seeing, maybe. And this is again nature that decides where the seed has to open, where the seed can reach out and grow the first roots. Now you will think, what has this pelargonium to do with us? But there is a reason. Have a near look. That's amazing, isn't it? And next close up, you see the plantlets that look like little snow stars or whatever. Close up. No words needed, I think. Also, this Dichia is worth a better look. Again, that's nature. You wouldn't see it just looking at it without magnifying glass. These little conophytums are example of what goes on inside a plant. On the right side, you have the flower forming. On the left side, the next leaf. This could be a painting in an art gallery. This little spot makes this astrophytum quite peculiar in colors and in overall aspect. This is as big as a thumbnail. Beautiful colors and the structure of this Asclepiadaceae. Again, close up. Two little men. The color of the old leaves that are drying is orange, as well as the little spots. Natural colors, no fake. This is, of course, grafted because otherwise it would not be able to live, but still amazing, I think. This is my floating raft. The flowers are completely dry, and I bet the freshly opened flowers were not as beautiful, as colorful as when dry. This astrophytum might have had too much sun sometime, and the new growth makes it absolute gorgeous. That's nature. Monadenium, I think in the meantime, it might be called euphorbia. For me, it remains monadenium. Also here, the new leaves are really astonishing red. It's a funny plant. That's the hell, isn't it? But if you look at the color, here it is. Seen in Sicily in summer, it will be green in a few weeks or so. But these were the colors. A strange plant, one leaf, and from the middle, the stem for flowers start, and the underneath side is very dark red. Again, is a bit, looks like fire. This is the underside of begonia. Everybody knows Actaeum hintoni, and this is fluffy. Looks like smoke. Also one of my favorite plants, two beauties on one picture. This aloe has this peculiarity that color changes during the year. Might be reddish, it might be more green, depending on sun or whatever. Minimal art. I think this is a good way to to underline the characteristic of this Certanthus. It's a woolly one. This is my, not music score, but botanical score. Abothia truncata. No, everybody knows it. You see, I have removed everything else that could take off the attention from the subject. That's a sculpture, natural sculpture, ready for some gallery. With the backlight, you see that this new leaf is reddish. It will become green, of course. And it has the characteristic that the leaf is double, like a butterfly, and it will close in the evening and open in the morning. Abothia. Reaching for the light. That's perfect, isn't it? This is a little joke of mine. The flower is more than open. I made a little trick, I must admit. But the bud is more beautiful. Have a look. It's amazing. I transformed this to show you how interesting the prints of the new leaves of this agave look like. Euphorbia obesa had some problem, and the new growth makes a very nice pattern. This is my birthday cake, but it doesn't grow like this, of course. It grows like this. Not a fake, just a smile. So now we start again with tricky questions and photos. And some have to do with pareidolia. This looks to me like a firework. It was too late in the evening. I had no flashlight. I made a very dark photo and I had to use it somehow. So I made this out of it and I liked it, unfortunately. Also, this is a bit funny. Doesn't grow like that, of course. You will wonder why I show you this photo. There is a reason. But as you know, I like playing around. And that's it. You will never know what these viruses were before I made some transformation. I took a few photos of Gymnocalcium, the red and yellow ones, the grafted ones that you find in supermarket. And this is the result. Again, playing around. There you are. Where is the plant? There you are. Another little bird up there. The background had to be different because if I took a black background, you wouldn't have seen the stem. This is a part of a plant that you will see in a moment, and you will ask, what is this? You saw the dried part, and now you see the new growth. 2 snakes that become a pitcher. And if you see on the right side, there is the next pitcher, the next snake growing on top of the leaf. Having fun? A plant everybody had or has at home, Phalaenopsis, dressed up as Darth Vader from Star Wars. I see a horse. What do you see? And these are my medusae. Big carp. I must admit, this is not a succulent plant, but a parasite that grows quite big. Again, having fun. You have Euphorbia wave. You have Euphorbia pachydermis moon. And you have spiny stars. Again, having fun. A bit evil, I must admit. Last but not least, Welwitschia mirabilis. That I transformed into northern lights. And with this smile, with this big smile, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. And if you have longer questions, please contact me via email.